It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. It's the way the birds are giving me support. Yes, Brittany! Yes! Sing it with your heart. Sing it with your heart. Anyway, hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode of This Week on Twitter. Now for this week on Twitter, I've actually decided like I'm gonna be taking like a little bit of the notes. This notebook, like I don't know if you can see it, like I made this notebook way back when in 2019. Wait, is it 2019? Let me see. Yeah, 2019. Let it focus. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, and since then I've like putting it off to not write, and I wrote like thank you next, but the next, like this part has come up because obviously the years haven't been that kind. But I've decided this year I'm gonna use a journal to like keep up with what I need to do. Please ignore like this my eye makeup, this eyebrow, this eyelashes. Me and these eyelashes, we are almost done with the day. We are almost done with the day. You just need to stick on for 5 more seconds. We're almost done with the day because I'm tired of fighting them. I'm tired of fighting them. I really am. So I do have my notebook, so I'm just gonna sit back here and have an open and have a look at what we're supposed to be talking about today. Oh yeah. Right. So for this week on Twitter, we're going to be talking about building generational wealth in Africa. This is actually from various tweets I keep on seeing, you know, can't wait to get money. You guys know these tweets on Twitter. You know, the whole you want to spoil your mom, stupid. Even me, I want to spoil her, foolish, when I make money. Now, this actually really got me to thinking like, okay, all well and good, we want to spoil our mom and everything, but we all know about how it really is in Africa. There's no way you're gonna spoil your mom and not have to spoil the rest of your relatives, because they see it as you are this terrible person. And like me, for my mom, she also has a very soft spot, so she would be more likely to tell me, why, okay, instead of taking me to Cancun, why don't you pay for so and so her son's school fees? Why don't you pay for so and so her rent? Like saying na me be like saying na me where they don't knock that time when they were knocking and they had that son for me to pay school fees. Like saying that me live for that house. And I just want to talk about that today. And I just want to talk about the barriers that come with, you know, being successful in Africa, and the barriers to building generational wealth in Africa. And that's what I would like to talk about today. So let's get right into this video. So the first thing I would like to talk about is graduation for everyone else, or getting an education for everybody else. Now, as for me, I'm actually in my last year in uni, and the closer and closer I've ever gotten to even finishing high school and now to finishing uni is always, and it's never really from my immediate family, like my dad, my sisters and what, them, they always tell me, get that education for yourself, do it for yourself, do it for yourself. However, my extended family always feels the need, to be like, now we have a lawyer, now we never have to stress about this, now we never have to do this. You know, one day you find for my son a job in that your firm. One day you find for me what. And I can understand like seeing hope, etc. And, you know, seeing that somebody has made it and how they can help you make it. However, I don't condone it when it's like your entire life is now dependent on me. I don't like it when relatives etc. And I'm not saying obviously all my relatives etc. I'm just saying like this is an observation I've met, like I've seen across Africa, that when people graduate or when people find one small level of success or one stepping stone to success, a lot of the extended family always want to put themselves in that equation now. It's always because they already depend on the number one breadwinner in the family, be it maybe it's your parents or somebody else's parents. They depend on them already solely to cater for them. So when you finally take that step, when you step up, you now become the sole breadwinner for you, yourself, your entire family, and your extended family. And that really goes to show that poverty is a mindset, especially when you have the resources. Obviously, if you don't have the resources, you can't say that. But if you have the resources, of which I've met many Africans who I'm talking about, the people I've interacted with, many of them do have the resources, but they just lack the want to do something for yourself, to want to get that money for yourself, to want to do this thing for yourself. And they would rather throw all of that on this one person that has gone through trial and tribulation when everyone was asleep, eating chicken, sleeping, enjoying life, them they were suffering. But now that they finished, it's supposed to be them who's supposed to take everybody, how Jesus sent a chariot for Enoch or Elijah or Elisha and take them to heaven. Everybody should now go to Mexico. Everybody should go to Aruba because you decided to have sleepless nights. And let me just say this, it's not gonna be me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. When I say my mom or my sister or my dad are going to enjoy when I make money, that's it. It's not gonna be my mom, my sister, her sister, her uncle's uncle, my dad's uncle's no. I will not ever, and it's because I've seen the kind of trauma and the kind of drama it brings. Number one, it breeds a lot of entitlement within the family, and you'll find that you can't just decide to stop working. You can't decide to retire because you have your own family and several other mouths to feed because everybody is dependent on you, and now you're struggling to you're literally living hand to mouth when you didn't work your ass off throughout all your life to go to school, do all of these things to live hand to mouth. You're supposed to have savings, you're supposed to be able to make these investments, etc. But because somebody has decided that they're not going to work, and you've decided that you want to become their personal bank, now you suffer. And I'm sorry, it's not gonna be me. It's not gonna be me. And I know a lot of you will look at me and be like, oh my god, Paige, what? But I feel like in Africa, we have to stop this enabling, because this form of enabling is usually looked upon and smiled upon, that you're supposed to help the people where you came from. You're supposed to help your aunties, your uncles in the village, everybody. You're supposed to do this. But if I see that these people, it's not help, it's mooching. There's a difference between help. Help is when you're down on your rent, or you're down today but tomorrow I can count on you to be up. That's helping someone. That's coming through when you need me. But mooching is when I know tomorrow, the day after that, and the day after that, and the years to come, you're still not gonna have your shit together. And I'm not gonna indulge, and I'm not gonna engage. And I want to build generational wealth. I want to be able to tell my children they can go to any uni they want, they can do whatever they want, because me as their parent, I have signed up to take care of them, not them and their cousins, just them. Thank you. Now the second thing I'd actually like to get into is the whole honorary thing. I've just touched on it right now, how it's honorable to take care of your family and all of them and etc. In Africa, it's a very like normal, natural thing that to build your parents a house if your parents are still together, or to have them come and stay with you, especially if you're a girl. You usually have like your mom come and stay with you because, you know, obviously like if your dad dies, or God forbid, vice versa. It's not normal to have like hair. Why is there a black tape on my hand? We don't really utilize care homes and old care homes like that. And so basically what happens is now you're an adult and you're making your own money and doing everything of your own, but you're forced to go back to living with your parents basically. So everything you work for, and I know you people will hate me, but a lot of the reason a lot of people get jobs and get money and do this is because you want financial independence from your parents. You want to be able to call your own shots, do what you want to do in your own goddamn house, because you're paying the goddamn bills. And a thing that my parents always told me is, when you get your own house, can do that. As long as you're under my roof, you're not doing that. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. So all I'm here to say is, there's no way that I'm going to graduate after I've worked my ass off, graduate. Not only have I graduated, I have also worked. And then now you want to return me into a state of being an independent adult, but not really an independent adult, because obviously I can't do some things when my mom is home. Like, I'm not gonna do some things when she's home because out of bare respect for her. And furthermore, there's a specific way my mom or my dad like to live, and I can't come and now tell them, no, you're in my house, because last they're my parents. I'm not gonna go and be forming lips like I didn't come out of my mother, like my father didn't raise me, because they'll just slap me there. And that's another thing. How will you be an adult making your own money, paying your own bills, and you're being slapped in your house? In your house! In your house! In your house! Forget about it. Just forget about it. For me, I'm really not having anybody coming to live with me. I'm sorry. Even if it's for help, even if it's not for help, even if it's for what, I will build them a nice house next door. Next door. If it's apartment they want, they'll move in next door. Not in my house, thank you. It's never just gonna happen. There's never gonna come the day where I will bring my parents to live with me. It's not gonna happen. My sister maybe, but my parents, nah. I want to work so hard. work so hard that that's never a possibility. I'm trying to think of a scenario when it can happen. Maybe if they got sick, God forbid, and they needed to stay with someone, obviously in that situation I would. But actually just like that, actually now we just all kumbaya in my house. It's not gonna happen. And I know you guys will be like, she's so privileged, she's so she's but let's really be realistic. You as an adult, do you want to live as a child again? And it's not that your parents will force you to live as a child, no, but last they're your parents. They don't know how else to act around you. You are their baby. You want to be going out at midnight to go shaking your nyash in a club. Your mother will be like, can you sit down there? Are you mad? Can you just at you want to see you be doing movie night with your boo? That's how your mother will enter there and tell you, can you switch that movie off? Which kind of demonic things are you watching? Bro, I remember when my mom told me that Harry Potter was demonic. And I had all the movies. Harry Potter was demonic, Vampire Diaries was demonic. So now you see, like, even the movies I cannot. On Sundays, if I don't want to go to church, and I know it's obviously like a bad thing that I don't want to go to church, but I don't go to church every Sunday. I won't sleep in. Now I'm even in uni, I'm not even staying with my mom. And my mom will call me to ask me, are you in church? Have you gone to church? So now imagine if we're in the same house. Me, I just know I would build them an amazing mansion, God willing, I will. And I will build them something tangible for themselves. Unless they're sick or whatever, they're not just gonna come stay in my house. I'm sorry. No. Unless they're sick, no. So that point wasn't really on generational wealth, but I think it's because it's supposed to actually link to the next point on emotional boundaries and the importance of emotional boundaries when it comes to building generational wealth in Africa. So like I'm saying, point number 2 that I just made about my parents or anybody coming to live with me is a big no. Like, there's nothing wrong I've said, but if an African parent hears what I say, they'll be like, oh my God, who raised this girl? Who raised this girl to say that she doesn't want to give up her boundaries? Who raised her? And I remember when I was younger, the reason a lot of my family members and we got along etc is because I really didn't have any boundaries. My elder sister has a lot of boundaries. Like, you guys don't want to cross the gear. The girl will just be like, no. And you're like, what? And she's like, yeah, no. Don't touch my shit, don't sit on my bed without asking me. Like, she has a lot of boundaries and everyone always thought she was so goddamn difficult. But the thing with her is, it wasn't like, when I've come to uni now, I've realized that she isn't weird. She just knows how to, you know, set up those boundaries, tell people yes, tell people no, which is absolutely crucial to be able to live your life as an adult, an independent functioning adult. You need those boundaries, but in Africa those kind of boundaries are not celebrated. And that's why I also think it's so hard to, you know, build the generational wealth, because if you refuse to pay for your auntie who keeps on having children for no reason when she can't afford it, if you say no to paying for her new children every single time she has them, you're a bad person. They start to say you'll be cursed by God, you'll be cursed by God. The weaponization of Christianity against you for not wanting to do something that's absolutely rational. If you don't want people to come and live in your house and invade your personal space and your privacy that you've worked so hard to be able to afford, no matter how much you're giving them their own space over there, in their own life over there, they think it's so crazy that you don't want them to come and stay in your house. You don't want them to do this. And I think that's another thing that's the actual crucial part we need to work on in Africa. The asking questions. We need to ask more questions, because when you ask more questions, you have answers and you can decide, okay, do I like that or not? Well, I don't like that. And you just say no. Why will God strike me down for saying that I'm not gonna pay for your husband's duties? You got pregnant with your husband. Why would God punish me for not paying for children that I didn't bring into this life? And it was like when I grew up and grew out of it and went to uni, I remember the first person who told me they were an atheist. I was like, but like after some time, I'm not an atheist, but after some time I was like, it's only like where I'm from and it's only back home that it's so illegal to be something other than what is generally accepted and you're not allowed to ask these questions etc. And I realized that my mindset of just accepting what's being told to me and accepting what everybody's telling me to do, regardless of how it impacts my life and my children's lives in the future, I realized that's not a sustainable way to live, and if I continue like that, even my finances will drastically be affected in the future, and I'll never be able to build wealth to the point where my children have something sustainable to inherit and have something sustainable to be like, I'm going to choose a uni that I want to go to, not based off of affordabilities etc, but based off of what I want to do with my life. And yeah, that's it from me today, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning into my channel. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.